Hey, yo, what up? It's your boy. If there are two things that I love dearly over the past 10 years that I've been making content on the internet, it is anime and music. And I'm pretty sure anyone can agree that anime is a great source for finding new, fantastic, brilliant pieces of music. But out of the hundreds and thousands of songs and tracks that anime has birthed into the world, what would you say are the best tracks? Well, it turns out Rolling Stone magazine has tried to come up with that, or more specifically, Rolling Stone India for some reason. I didn't even know Rolling Stone had an Indian faction, but hey, good on you, India. You're really giving yourself a name today, because Rolling Stone India created this article that I found called the 10 best tracks from Japanese anime soundtracks. From blazing rock numbers to J-pop informed hits, we count down fan favorites, which is like kind of surprising to me, right? Because it's like, how much of a difficult task is it to try and whittle down the hundreds and thousands of fantastic tracks that we have seen in anime just down to 10? I think that's a really tall order. So I give props, first of all, to Rolling Stone India for even attempting this. But since you had the balls to release it on your platform into the public, it is open to criticism. So I am going to do exactly that. We're going to go through these 10 tracks and give my opinions on whether I would put them as the 10 best tracks from anime. So let's fucking go. First off, we have Gurenge by Lisa from Demon Slayer. Look, I mean, it's a bop. It's a banger. You know, I kind of have this like love-hate relationship with a lot of Lisa's tracks. Some of them just hit super fucking hard. A lot of times they take a while for me to grow into. And I think with Gurenge, this was one of those tracks that at first I was like, yeah, okay, this is pretty alright. This is an acceptable opening. I mean, for something as big as Demon Slayer, maybe it could have gotten a little bit better. But admittedly, over the times that I have listened to this track, because God knows Japan loves playing the shit out of this track any chance that they can get, I have to admit that I have warmed up to this track quite a bit. And whenever someone throws this track into a karaoke session, your boy's grabbing that mic speedy. Do I still think it is extremely overplayed? Yes, I think it is definitely not in my top 10 best anime openings or best tracks ever, but I'd be contrarian to say that this wasn't a bop. Like, this is an absolute banger, and I think anyone, regardless of if you're a Demon Slayer fan or not, can agree that this is a banger. Next up is Unravel by TK. See, this is kind of an opposite for me with Gurenge, where I absolutely fucking loved this track at first because I am a massive Rinto Shishigure fan. Rinto Shishigure, incredible technical math rock band that I think not a lot of people have actually stepped into their discography of, which if you love anything by TK or love anything by Rinto Shishigure that you've heard in anime, please do yourself a favor, go listen to the Rinto Shishigure discography. It is fire. But I think with Unravel, I've gotten to the point now where, again, it's been so overplayed. It's been used in so many goddamn memes. It's just every turn you go, especially online, people are using this track, ironically or not, that I've just kind of gotten like annoyed at this track now. It's to the point where like it's so overplayed that I've started to actually kind of almost dislike this track, which is a shame because it's got nothing to do with the actual track itself. I mean, TK is an incredible songwriter, has one of the most unique voices, I think, in Japanese modern music, but it's just it's the unfortunate aspect of it getting overplayed so goddamn much and used in so many memes that I can't really take it seriously anymore. And look, if I were to throw in some comparisons right here, I think the Psycho Pass 1 opening, also done by Rinto Shishigure, is just so much more of an interesting and fun track to listen to. Again, nothing against this actual song though. I do love TK, and I did love this song for a long time, especially while I was watching Tokyo Ghoul Season 1. That was an opening I never fucking skipped, but long after its release, almost 10 years ago, which is scary to think about, I think it's just, it's a little overrated in my opinion. One Summer Day from Spirited Away. You know what? I was fully expecting there to be some Joe Hisaishi tracks because you can't really have a discussion about anime music and anime soundtracks without mentioning the GOAT, that is Hisaishi Joe. I would actually agree with this. I would actually put this in the top 10, like my personal top 10. One Summer's Day is a beautiful, beautiful, simple yet serene piece of music that just so perfectly encapsulates the vibe of Spirited Away, and also just like the Ghibli universe in general. I think it was also put in the movie during like one of the most perfect times. And look, as much as Spirited Away has some incredible fucking music all throughout, that entire soundtrack is near flawless, but I would definitely put One Summer's Day as probably one of my favorite Ghibli songs, and definitely the best song to come out of Spirited Away. So yeah, I agree with this placement. Good job. The Girl Who Fell from the Sky, the Castle in the Sky soundtrack. Okay, look, I love this song. I love this movie. Easily my top 5 Ghibli films of all time. But top 10 best tracks from anime? That's a hard bargain, bro. That is a hard bargain. I think just in terms of Joe Hisaishi's repertoire, I definitely do think there are some better tracks out there. Like, if we were going to put Joe Hisaishi twice in a list like this, you know, I would, again, definitely have put One Summer's Day on that list, but I think one that is probably better than The Girl Fell from the Sky, and I would argue even better than One Summer's Day, is probably the Princess Mononoke theme. Like, that opening is short yet serene, and it's just so incredibly and beautiful and haunting with the lyrics and vocals on that. Like, fucking, it's easily, it is the song and the movie that got me into Ghibli and anime films in general. So as much as, again, I love Castle in the Sky, don't get me wrong, Girl Fell from the Sky, beautiful orchestral track. I would not put it in a top 10. Again, I hate that I'm saying that, but I personally would just not put it in a top 10. Tank by the Seatbelts, Cowboy Bebop opening. I mean, that was expected. Probably one of the most iconic anime openings of all time, not only because of just how fun it is as like a Latin jazz song, which you barely ever see in anime, let alone back when Cowboy Bebop came out. This was kind of unheard of to have a track like this used in an opening. This is, again, just another instance of, I guess, just like personal taste. I think there are probably, even within the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, there are better tracks by the Seatbelts and by Yoko Kanno. If we're going with Yoko Kanno's entire like works, I as much as, again, I do love the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, I just think she's done better jobs. The Terran Resonance soundtrack, I think, is just a smidge bit better than the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. Again, it's like really close. At this point, it's just like a personal preference. Look, as much as I like jazz, and I am a jazz lover as a former jazz pianist, I think in terms of just like the captivation musically, Cowboy Bebop does have better tracks, but I can't hate the fact that this is in a top 10. I think anyone of any music taste can agree this song is fucking fire, and it perfectly encapsulates the feel, good vibes of the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. And I don't really think Cowboy Bebop will kind of be the same without Yoko Kanno and without Tank as the opening. Ooh, My War, the Attack on Titan Season 4 opening. Look, this is a good opening, okay? And God, I'm gonna piss off so many Attack on Titan fans with this. I still prefer the first opening. If we're going with just the Attack on Titan openings, out of all the ones we've listened to, they're all amazing. Don't get me wrong. Every single opening has been a fucking slap. And I think the one thing I appreciate the most about Attack on Titan is that each opening of each different seasons perfectly encapsulates the feeling and the vibe of that season. I mean, the great thing about My War, for instance, is that it really does kind of give the whole apocalyptic end of the world, you know, the protagonist has now turned into the antagonist type of despair and doom that you see throughout season 4 of Attack on Titan. And I think that kind of very noisy, or almost like kind of orchestral noise type of sound that My War brings, especially paired with the visuals as well, I think was the perfect opening that season 4 of Attack on Titan could have had. But is it the best song of all of anime? I would not put it there. Again, this is so hard to like turn into a list, and I can see why, like, you know, not many people have come up with lists like this, because at the end of the day, it really is just personal preference. I know for a fact that there are a ton of Attack on Titan fans that absolutely fucking adore this track, even though the first time a lot of people heard this opening, I did see that the general consensus was that this isn't a really good track, this is kind of a weird track. I know that this was definitely a grower for a lot of people. A lot of people grew into this opening, as did I. Again, like, I didn't like it the first time I listened to it. I think it's a pretty good track now, but man, I don't know. Call me like old school, call me nostalgia. Maybe it's my nostalgia goggles talking, but I still think that first opening just slaps so fucking hard. The impact I remember I felt the first time I watched the season 1 opening is something that I still remember to this day. And you know, as much as this is not just dealing with like anime openings, I would honestly put the season 1 Attack on Titan opening probably like in my top 50 anime openings of all time, easily. Like, that is such a banger track. My War, on the other hand, good opening. Definitely not the 10 best songs that Japanese anime has to offer. Oh no! The World by Nightmare? Death Note opening 1? Overrated! Overrated! Everybody knows opening 2 is better. Everybody knows. Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of tracks by Nightmare. And The World is a banger. The World is a classic anime opening, and was definitely, I think, a good taste of what Death Note had to offer to people who perhaps were going into Death Note blind. I think it was a great opening, but I think on the broader scale of things, the song hasn't really like aged all that well and hasn't really stood the test of time. Like, I think a lot of people see The World by Nightmare, the Death Note opening 1, as being iconic because it was paired with such a legendary anime. If you threw The World by Nightmare into any other type of anime, just like some random mid-ass 5 out of 10 anime that you wouldn't remember after it finishes airing, then I don't think it would have stood out as much. Opening 2, on the other hand, the Maximum the Hormone opening, still sounds insane to this day. Like, I mean, Maximum the Hormone is just an incredible standout, unique band, even just within the Japanese music scene, and are still pushing boundaries in terms of musical creativity. I mean, you know, we recently saw them go absolutely ham during the Chainsaw Man Ending 3, which was like, I thought Maximum the Hormone were insane already, and they just fucking were like, no, we can go even higher. Hold my cocaine, boys, I'm about to go ham. So I think just in terms of that, the second opening, just in terms of Death Note, is better. And again, as much as I love the Death Note OP1, I just think it's a little bit overrated, and I would definitely not put it in a 10 best Japanese songs from anime list. Bloody Stream, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, it's the best JoJo opening. What can I say? It's the best JoJo opening. I mean, again, talk about another song that just perfectly encapsulates the feel and vibe of JoJo Part 2. It is a great track. Again, like, it wasn't my favorite track from the JoJo universe for a while. I still thought opening 1 just gave off that vibe a lot better, just personally speaking, but this song has definitely grown on me, and it's a bop. It's a banger. Honestly, no complaints there. I wouldn't put it in like the top 10 best anime openings ever, but if there were such a list, maybe with more numbers, maybe like top 20, top 30, yeah, I'd put Bloody Stream in there. I think it's a banger, and the visuals are incredible in that as well. I think, no denying. You don't even have to be a JoJo fan to recognize that. Bluebird, Naruto, third opening. Yeah, this is a banger. This is honestly a banger, but everybody knows the second opening is better. Where is Haruka Kanata? Like, legit, where is Haruka Kanata? I think in terms of Naruto openings, and there were so many goddamn bop banger Naruto openings out there, and again, as much as it is overplayed, Haruka Kanata is just a better track. It's a better feel track. It's a better vibe for Naruto, especially during the early stages of Naruto. And I mean, it's Asian Kung Fu generation, bro. Like, there's a reason why they're that fucking popular. They built that shit up. And like, I feel Haruka Kanata definitely put like a very high standard for the Naruto openings to come, which admittedly, again, as much as I do prefer Haruka Kanata, Bluebird did reach that potential. I think Bluebird is an amazing opening of fucking, like, God, so many people are still using that track to this day on social media and just when referencing Naruto. I mean, it is a banger track, don't get me wrong, but even within the Naruto universe, there are better openings out there. And I mean, if we're talking about Naruto music, like, where's ending one? Where is ending one? That is easily one of the most beautiful, serene, and easily the best piece of music to come out in the Naruto franchise, just in general, even better than Haruka Kanata in my opinion. So if you were going to put Bluebird in there, then, you know, you should have put the first ending there as well, at least, you know. And finally, we have... What? Yo, I forgot Rolling Stone was like a music publication. Wow, they're listening to some like music. Holy fuck. Fuyu no Hanashi from Given? Like, how many people watched Given? I mean, I watched it just because I was curious about the show, and then I found out that the fucking soundtrack in that show is like amazing, and this is a banger. This is such a banger. I mean, look, this is coming from someone who like kind of loves the very like raw math rock sound that Japan has had to offer us for the past couple of decades. And I think this is a great like modern interpolation of that. And it works so well in the anime as well. I mean, look, the show itself was okay. It was fine. It was acceptable. It wasn't the most mind-blowing show ever, but, you know, what made it, I think, stand out more and what made it kind of come out of the mid category for me was just the music in it. The music was absolutely fire, and this is a banger track, bro. Like, not enough people have listened to this track. Give this track a listen, please, especially if you're a fan of Japanese math rock, and especially if you're a fan of just, like, hard-hitting rock music and just feel-good rock music and a modern interpolation of that. Give this track a listen, man. Like, this is a bang. I was not expecting this. Like, I was fully expecting, you know, maybe like something from the Fully Cooley opening, or maybe like the Neon Genesis Evangelion opening, or, you know, some more like classic stuff, like, you know, the Sailor Moon opening or something, right? I don't know, but goddamn, this was the last track I thought that Rolling Stone India was going to put on the list. So, you know what? Good job, Rolling Stone India. You Indians have great taste in music. So there you go. That was the 10 best tracks from Japanese anime soundtracks according to Rolling Stone India. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What 10 tracks would you personally put on a list like this? I'm interested to know down in the comments below. And hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack my face right here to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep making big channel number go bigger. And over here next to my head, a couple more videos you can check out if you enjoyed this one, and links to my social media, as well as my Patreon to support me directly, and my YouTube shorts and TikTok page down in the description below, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.